Welcome to the Nicole Small Show, where we give you straight talk with no chaser. Here, we discuss issues from the White House to your house. And now, here's your host, Nicole Small.
Good morning, everybody. What's today? Today is Tuesday. We have, I think, 84 days until the election. So I have something to do today for the campaign. So the show will only be an hour, but I want to get through a couple of things. Tomorrow let me make sure I get the time correct. Tomorrow at 11 o'clock, excuse me. Tomorrow at 11 o'clock, there will be a rally to restore the water system. And this will be at 11 a.m. at the Water Board Building, 735 Randolph. 735 Randolph. There will be a rally to restore the water system. And this will be, they will address how Rick Snyder created the Great Lakes Water Authority, how this water authority is helping to strip the city of its control of water, the infrastructure, also this flooding that's happening. Most importantly, a lot of flooding is going on. They're going to address that issue, how the dollars that we have access to are not being used to fix the infrastructure for the city's water system, how this is really a takeover and due to the neglect of the mayor and of the city council. So that is tomorrow at 11 a.m., 735 Randolph. There is why don't they put on here? There's a lawsuit. Well, anyway, this will be headed by Anthony Adams. I know Russ Ballant is a part of it. So listen, we just came off of an election last week, actually 1 week ago today. And we talk about these issues. We talk about how people don't come out and vote. Like we were at 14.2%. I kept saying 13%, but it was actually 14.2%. And other people want to say 15%. No, it's not 15% because you can't round up because it's not 14.5. I just want to be clear about that. We couldn't get to 15% of voter turnout. How sad is that? And this is when we're living in a city where people are still facing water shutoffs. As soon as Duggan, feels that he has gotten what he wants, he's quite confident that he's going to win the election and he's going to lift that moratorium, and then you're going to have a huge water bill. They're still going to be taking homes. They're still going to be stealing businesses. All of that will continue. And they just had $1 billion on the table. Not one damn dime went to fixing the infrastructure, the water infrastructure, and in people's homes. Some of them literally flooded 3 to 4 times in less than a month. And he got 50,000 votes. But what's interesting to me is when I go out canvassing, these are the things that people want to talk to me about how the city, their homes are flooding, and then some of them you'll get to tell you, oh, well, there's nothing he could do about it. He the mayor of the city. You think city council should do it and the mayor shouldn't do it? No, I think it should be a collective effort. I think the city council should do their job. And when we talk about checks and balances, the super majority of city council should do their job. And when we talk about checks and balances and those dollars coming across the table that they approve, they should make sure that some of it goes to addressing this flooding problem. But instead, they don't. Supermajority does not do that. And you have a mayor that's not even bringing these options to the table. So if you're tired of the street flooding, you're tired of the drains being backed up on your street, if you're tired, now this is just for y'all who tired now. It's not for you other ones who always want to turn the other cheek when they done already blew your jaw out, fractured your jaw on both sides, but you just keep a turning. You know why people keep turning? Because they don't want to stay focused and look at what's going on right in front of them. That's why people keep turning. That's why they keep turning the other cheek. They don't want to address this issue head on. That's why. Right? So this message is for the people who are sick and tired right? If you're tired of it, I suggest that, you're available at 11 o'clock right down there on Randolph at the water board building. Just go right on down there, and you need to stand with them, to stand for justice. You need to stand with a group of people who have come together to see the legality in the issue, to try to fight to make sure that you have better. I would go, but I have a previous engagement y'all know we really so close, and I didn't know about it. I had already scheduled an event for the campaign. But if you're tired now, if you're tired of having sewage and feces floating in your house, if you're tired of that, you tired of either you can't put anything back in your basement or in your apartment. For those people at Dickerson Manor, see, they don't even have a basement. They are the basement on the first floor. So if you're tired of that, and somebody talking about that they looking for volunteers, this is the part that just kills me. This leprechaun told y'all that he needed volunteers to help you clean out your basement, as if he was having a pep rally and he needed people to pass out literature. You had sewage and shit floating around in your house, and he got $1 billion on the table, and he gonna tell you that he looking for some volunteers to come clean out your basement. I just want you to process that. That's what he told you. That's how little he thinks of you. And still went out here and was gangster with it at the polls on election day. Think about that. That's what he told you. So again, for those of you who are sick and tired and are very clear about the message that is being sent from this administration and his minions, that they don't care about you and they don't want you to advance to a better quality of life, that they don't even think you deserve any better than what you get, then I suggest that you go out, even if your basement didn't flood, and you see this for what it is, and you're available at 11 o'clock tomorrow. Get there a little bit early so they can start now. Okay, let me tell y'all how this goes. We need you there a little bit early so they can start on time, so they can get on the news. If the news show up, that part, if the news show up. But when they show up, are they gonna frame it in its proper context? That's the question too. But again, 11 a.m. I'm strongly encouraging people, go out here, participate in it, because this is, again, you have somebody running for mayor. Oh, y'all can't see me. How many people do I have? Somebody's texting me saying that they don't know if they can't see the show. So again, yeah, go out there, and that's exactly what we should happen. And today's show is definitely about the blueprint in history, which includes the experiences of the people who have fought this system that is not meant for us to advance, people of color to advance, people who really want democracy to advance, this system that is not set up for that to happen. The blueprint is baked into the blueprint with their experiences and with some of their strategies that have worked and have not worked, right? Keep that in mind. I'm going to play a little clip again about this video that I posted yesterday on YouTube, but I'm going to take this caller first. But that's what this show is about. And so why don't we win? Why don't we demand better? All right, why don't we demand better? Let's take a caller. Good morning. Welcome to the Nicole Small Show.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Hey, Bill.
This is good morning. I've worked for the water department for 34 years. We need to be asking this mayor what has been going on with the $50 million a year to improve infrastructure since 2014. The infrastructure in my neighborhood is not any better. Why is it that Gary Brown still has a job?
That's what I want to know.
and I did such an incompetent job, I would be fired.
Long ago.
But yet, he continues to have a job. He must have some dirt on the mayor. Why else does he still have a job?
Well, here's the thing. If this was in Livonia, Gary Brown wouldn't have been hired. It's that part. You know, Gary Brown just simply wouldn't have been hired.
I don't know if you remember, but years ago I was saying, you know, I was telling the mayor that he was incompetent and should have a job. That's when the mayor offered me a job, and I said I would take one from him. But we need to be demanding information. We need to be demanding accounting of this $50 million a year since 2014 for infrastructure improvements. Where has it been going? And did any of it go to any black contractors inside the city of Detroit? We need to be demanding more information from this administration.
Well,
thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, to Bill's point about the $50 million that has been going, that has been supposedly was allocated to go towards the infrastructure, the $50 million a year. Let me say that. They were supposed to go towards the infrastructure of water. Well, there's another $50 million a year that comes out of our general budget that goes towards demolition. How that's working out for y'all who supported proposal in? And we told you. Those of you who we got to and we told you why you shouldn't support it. How's that working out for you? Did they tear down the homes in your neighborhood? A few of you, they probably did. But if you look at the 70% of the people who voted yes, how your neighborhood looking? How that's working out for you? Them lots flooding over there. Those abandoned houses. There's water sitting around it. Is the water in your basement? Just how that's working out for you. And again, everything Duggan has done, nothing could possibly be a surprise. Because we have had the blueprint to show us what will happen when we support somebody that we know does not have our best interests at heart, that don't care about us. One thing about him and his team, they are really laser focused to seek and destroy and remove. And then they'll rebuild. See, you think they rebuild in this city, but that's not what's going on. They're rebuilding downtown to attract businesses and dollars, and a few pockets they're touching upon in this city. I mean, in the pockets of as far as neighborhoods. But they're not really rebuilding this city because enough of us haven't left. See, you have to have that urban removal at a much greater rate for them to really rebuild this city. See, all that stupid stuff they building, like streetscapes and these wide bike lanes that they're driving down. Now, you know what I think is funny? I guess the people down there going towards the Lower East Side on Jefferson, you know, like as you start to get towards the area that's by the Manugian Mansion off Jefferson and those houses, you start to get towards it. You notice them bike lanes get narrow like they supposed to be. Do you notice that? Do you notice the bike lanes get narrow? But meanwhile, back over here on the old corral, you got folks driving down bike lanes because they so wide. 6 Mile. The blueprint, it's in the blueprint now. I just want y'all to know. Look at 6 Mile near Livernois. You gonna tell me you let this joker come slap up some cement in the middle? This is what I want to know. You let him come slap. That's what I need to do, is start taking pictures, because some of y'all have not seen this. So what they have is these things, these streetscapes, right? So it's a bike lane, and like every so many feet, they slap up this just a slab of cement, and it got a little hump so you can ride your bike over it. You know, he's so gangster with it. Now, y'all know how narrow it is over there by Mary Grove and everything, right? And going up to Livernois. You know how narrow that street is. He's so gangster with it. He ain't just do the little bike lane. He just slapped the cement up in the middle. Then you could, now look, the cement, probably 4 bikes side by side and not 5 could ride, right? But right in the middle, you know, you had the little incline, little dip, so you could go up over it. You know, all of this stuff. It's actually amazing to watch it. on this narrow street that you was only meant for you to maybe park on one side of it and then to have two lanes for driving, right? And you need to still drive carefully. I grew up over there all my life. Grew up over there. Y'all just let him come slap this up, and then he put some poles over there too. I say, damn. I say, look at this. I say, you know, Leprechaun Mike really got you playing y'all like a fool. You know, I think it was a point in time that you would have had some old ladies coming out telling that they wish a would come doing all of that. And they always claim that they've done a traffic study. What traffic study did you do it between Wyoming and Livernois on 6 Mile? What traffic study did you do that you thought that this was the best use of space? Live 6, what's up over there? Y'all not gonna say nothing about it. You're not gonna organize the people in that neighborhood to tell them that this some bull crap. Y'all should have been locking out. What happened? Remember they used to do Hands Across America, whatever that was called. You should have been doing hands all around 6 Mile, telling them you're not busting up no concrete around here. How you just let somebody come in here and dog walk your neighborhood? And you got crazy folks over there telling them that this is a good idea. No, the hell it isn't at all. It's dangerous and it's stupid. It's stupid. But look, this is the blueprint about how when they come in, take over your neighborhood is to displace you. This is what this is about. And they're gonna be giving out tickets up to wazoo over there. So then more you gonna lose your license. This is all by design. Let's take a caller. Good morning.
Good morning, Nicole.
Hey, Kenny.
Yeah, you're always on point with stuff, and I just don't see why people can't comprehend what you're saying in the as far as Detroit. You know, I used to be proud when I go out of town and say I'm from Detroit. You know what I say now? I'm from Metro Detroit. I never say Detroit Metro. I use the word Metro Detroit because black folks is so sad here, you know, instead of coming together, and just like you said, should have been out there and said, oh, you're not tearing up our community. You're not doing this. You're not doing that. They should have been the same with over here with St. Denis. You're not closing the street down and putting no little lousy giving us crumbs on the table. And you know as well as I know, I tried to tell them at the meeting.
You sure did.
Alan was right there at the meeting with me, telling them about that, you know, stuff over here and stuff. And these folks still went for the banana in the tailpipe. Now, me and the wife rides down Grosse Point and Jefferson, right, from 14 Mile all the way back down here. Do you know they don't have one bike lane down there and they riding on the sidewalk, but then we let them come here and put bike lanes here for them. That's for them, because you see them riding them bikes up and down the Jefferson in the lane and stuff when they don't have none in their area. And it's sad that we allow that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it's going to take, Nicole. You'd have been out there, you know, we'd have been on the line raising hell, and these folks just won't get off their butt and vote these clowns out. The circus is over. These clowns need to go. And they allow these clowns to do this to them. I'm not going to hold because I want to finish hearing, you know, what you're talking about. But I had to call in and say it's sad.
It is sad.
Like that, you know, that we're going through that instead of coming together and fighting to get Duggan and the city councils out. It's like we fighting each other. No, I want that seat. It's like hot potatoes. I mean, musical chair when you go to the party and the music, they take the record off and you knock that opponent, you know, your friend out.
Right. Oh yeah. Musical chairs. Musical chairs. Yeah.
That's what they're doing here instead of going after the head. Them just knocking each other out. It's sad. You know, like musical chair, we're attacking each other. You know, and people say don't attack nobody. She ain't got to attack nobody. I'll attack people. I ain't gonna say it now, but people know.
Yeah.
And they're attacking you, but then they want to tell you don't attack nobody. The hell with that. Y'all
That's right.
Tell the people that are putting her all over the pages and stuff, I'll be with Nicole. I know how she works. She ain't that kind of person. You know what I'm saying? So quit that. And I hope all y'all listening. And I don't give a damn if you don't like me, because I pay my own way and I'll pay my own bills. So the hell with what y'all think. Let's keep it real 100.
That's right.
Why y'all don't let me out the. That's why my sister don't let me out the closet, because they know.
That's right. That's right.
Thank you. And continue to do what
Thank
you're doing.
you.
And let's win this battle in November. And people, bring your behinds out and get
Definitely.
these people out of office and quit attacking individuals that's running.
Thank you. Thank you, Kenny.
Thank you for taking my call, Nicole, and I'm going to continue to listen.
All right. Thank you.
Peace and love.
Peace and love. Thank you.
All right.
You know, it's interesting. People won't come out to vote, but you know when they will come out? When they start coming, removing people in blocks. See, nobody believes that it can happen to them, or a lot of people don't believe it can happen to them, and a lot of people just believe that, you know, it can't get any worse. But trust me when I tell you, if we don't do something this election, if we don't pay attention to the blueprint that has been put together for us from the people, you know, like Angela Davis, like Fannie Lou, like Ida B. Wells, like, listen, James Baldwin, look, profound brother, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, like all of these people that have told us what is happening, what they're going to do. Coleman Young Sr., he basically laid it out for us. But you know, when they will come out and that people don't believe, you're going to start seeing them removing not one or two people on your block. It's going to be people in droves. And then you're going to be talking about, oh, how sad is that? They've been living there for, you know, 80 years and all of that. And they just took their house. You're going to say they lost their house. No, they took their house is what I'm telling you is what they're going to do. They're going to take it. You know why? Because all of this garbage that they're doing with these stupid bike lanes that people are driving down in their car. See, and you folks who ride your bikes, we all ride bikes. You get so upset when somebody says something about bike lanes. We fought for them bike lanes. Did you really fight for a bike lane for somebody to be able to drive their car down? Think about what they gave you versus what you asked. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They sat there and they talked to you for months, probably over a year. And they made you believe that this is what you asked for. What other city has bike lanes this wide? See, remember when Kwame did that island, that median in the middle of Livernois? See how they tore that up? And they gave you sidewalks that I know 2 semi-trucks can drive down side by side. You can still probably get another smaller car on the end. See, they don't mind putting the money into these things that don't really make sense. And once they get the community to really look the way they want it, they'll go tear it back up and then they'll do it the right way. That's what I want you to know. See, you thinking, oh, they put too much money into this, they gonna leave it. No. We do have a master's plan around here, okay? There's a master plan at the city, but there's a master's plan that's actually being executed in this city. They will tear all of that foolishness up. Folks over there in Rosedale, North Rosedale, Grandmont, 1, 2, 3, 4, all that money y'all paying, huh? All that money you paying, and look at Grand River. Just look at it. And the person leading it and rubber stamping it, and you know what they say, come on through. Come on through. The person who telling all of this foolishness to just come on through got 8,000 and something votes. Watch out. Look at Grand River. Mr. Come on through got 8,000 and something votes. You don't want no better. You don't want no better. You want somebody to come take advantage of where you live. What you gonna do in the wintertime with that mess on Grand River? It's just as stupid. But see, we want to be so nice. That's what we want to. We want to be so nice. Do you know how long we've been trying to talk to these people? And you look at what happened in Royal Oak. We're going to take this caller in a minute, but I want you to know what happened in Royal Oak. See, they talk about what happened at the Charter Commission meeting. Oh, well, it was just chaos. I've been telling y'all for the last 3 years. Don't let them fool you with that, because when you go to the suburbs, them jokers don't just throw F-bombs. They throw chairs up in there. If it got anything to do with a millage, school, money, whatever, they get down in the suburbs. And I'm not just talking about where y'all consider just to be trailer parks. I mean, in these affluent areas. You know why? Because they know they value and they know they worth. And they're not going to accept anything less. Look at what happened in Royal Oak. This was in Deadline, Detroit. Man hospitalized. Cops called after Royal Oak development meeting turns physical. You know what it was about? Zoning. They was cutting up in Royal Oak, not Royal Oak Township, in Royal Oak, about a zoning issue. Okay, about a zoning issue. These were the people who lived there. And they tell you, and they convince you, all these people coming to me about, oh, you so adversarial and confrontational or whatever. We up there fighting to make sure you have some water that you can afford and that's clean. We up there fighting to make sure that you have some housing that you can afford. That's what we fighting, but we up here fighting to make sure that they don't come into your doggone backyard and plant a tree so they can get you out. That's what we fighting for. We fighting to make sure that the dollars coming to this city actually benefit you. That's what we were fighting for. And not one person was assaulted. Not one swear word was even heard. The cops was called, though. Y'all do remember that when they sent out the Gestapo. But why did they do that? They sent out all of those police officers to that charter meeting. Not because it was so disorderly. Because they wanted to create an image. And you got more black folks going for that. We had several white folks talking about, that's right, you fight for democracy. But a lot of you black folks talking about, you can't behave that way. That's not necessary. Well, we tried talking to these folks. Well, what you want? Do you want to win? Because that's what I need to ask you. Do you want to win? But again, wasn't no chairs thrown. There were no fights at these meetings. Contrary to what they tell you, there were no swear words. And look at this here, right here in Royal Oak on August the 8th. This just happened. A man hospitalized. The meeting turned physical. I guarantee you what won't happen is, I bet you the mayor of Royal Oak and I bet you the city council won't have one damn bit of nerve to run a commercial to get the people in that city of Royal Oak not to support this zoning issue that they're going against. I guarantee you they won't do that. But see, they do that here. They make you think less of those who are really here to be servants to improve your quality of life. I just want you to remember that. Let's take a caller. Good morning. Welcome to the Nicole Small Show.
Good morning, Nicole. How are you?
Hey, good morning, Brenda. Long time no talk to, huh?
We did have a great conversation last night, but I just wanted to tell the callers about Livernois. And you were talking about the 6 Mile corridor, but it leads right into Livernois. And if anybody knows, the Duggan administration widened those sidewalks, and it about broke almost every black business owner on Livernois for those sidewalks. And last weekend it was supposed to be jazzing on the Ave, right?
Yeah.
And that's one of their most financially lucrative events on the Ave, right? But Duggan said you can have the jazzing on the Ave, but you have to pay for permits for every little thing. And they did not allow them to block off the streets as well, which is usually done.
You mean to tell me Rufus couldn't get that jazz on the Ave going the way he got all those Mike Duggan signs, and Mike Duggan is in his pop-up shop next to Simply Cap? Oh no, because he loved him some Mike Duggan. Now wait a minute now. What do you mean they couldn't get a permit to block off the street? Kim Tandy didn't make sure that happened for Rufus.
Nope, it turned into a customer appreciation day.
Oh.
You know, where each individual store or business owner gave a certain percentage off. But do you need wide sidewalks for people to walk up and down Illinois? No.
I thought it was the Avenue of Fashion, not the Avenue of Cafes, but go ahead.
Also, what woman or guy getting their hair done on Illinois want to walk 50 feet to a car, you know, while it's raining and wind blowing and stuff. But they need it, so Mike Fresh didn't participate at all, because, you know, usually they have the music there in the Mike
Yes,
Fresh
yes, they do.
and stuff. And the other businesses, not only that, they could not advertise as a group. They had to advertise individually. So they are all upset on there. They did not get that.
Hold on. Now wait a minute. I don't know if I want to say they all upset, because you know they could have stopped some of this foolishness that was going on with these sidewalks. Because they should have locked arms too. But you know what the problem is?
Yeah.
Duggan have his people up there, and I'm just telling you the truth. You sit up here, you support this, you know they just killed your business. And you sat here and you went to meetings for over a year and a half. That was a couple of years in the making. Remember the last real jazz on the app that we had, Brenda, where they blocked off the businesses? That was before 2017. And what they tried to introduce at that jazz on the app were bike lanes. And you know what they said? They said, oh no, this is just a test pilot or whatever. Yeah, they was testing them all right. They were testing their strength. They were testing their consciousness to see what they were testing their tolerance, Brenda, to see what they would tolerate as business owners, and they see that they'll tolerate anything coming from him. So go ahead and continue. I don't know how mad they are.
Yes, and you see the only thing that's on jazz, that's on the Ave right now is the brewery. White owned, white workers. Right? The only thing that may benefit those wide sidewalks, none of the businesses that made it the Avenue of Fashion are benefiting from those sidewalks. Now, there's another event coming up in September called Art on the Ave. You remember, they would have that all down the median. Now that there's no median, right? So that's gone. And art all up and down the street and stuff. Now Duggan says you can't have it on the street at all. It has to be indoor. Indoor with a pandemic?
Well, you know what? Great point, Brenda. That's a great point. But let me say something else. If there's only art on the Ave indoors, then that's just like every other day when the store is open. Do you see how he's suffocating these businesses so that they can collapse? So that he can have a negative impact on their profit margin, right? That's what this is about. It's about suffocating them out of these businesses. Because you want, everybody knows if you're going to have an art fair, it's outside, so that you can not only get those who already know about the event to come, but more importantly, there are a lot of people driving up and down the street who may not have known because they're not in that community or they didn't get the message, right? And they see that art outside and they'll immediately stop and say, oh, let me go in here. I'm interested in some art. That's the whole point of doing it outside. So you going to tell me that the Plymouth and the Ann Arbor Art Fair, they're going to start holding that inside? Heck no. Again, let's see, this is what I'm talking about. How these folks in the suburbs would tear something up. They would tell them that they're going to have the art fair that they have every year in Ann Arbor or in Plymouth, that they're going to have it inside. I haven't seen Royal Oak have theirs in Arts, Beats, and Eats. We're going to start having that inside too. Is that what we're going to do? We're going to start having that inside too. They wouldn't tolerate it. They just wouldn't tolerate it.
And these black businesses count on these events for their income.
Yes.
They put this on their to-do list every year. And now it's been busted up by the same mayor that said this will be good for your business.
By the same mayor that they do selfies and smiles with. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Every time he come cut a ribbon, every time he cut a ribbon to a business, they better understand he trying to cut their lifeline. But they don't get it. They don't. Why do you have to have the mayor come to the opening of your place? Why can't you say no? Tell me, what are you going to lose? That's what I want to know. What are you going to lose? It does not increase your customer base. Listen, I've been living over here forever. It has never turned into people getting an influx of customers. 313, you neither. Good Times, you either. The reason why Good Times is doing so well, they had this outdoor city. You got a bunch of young folks coming up there because people want a place to go. And I don't see an influx of business to Simply Casual or any of those, because Cuzzo's is doing well because people want some place to go and to eat. And we're so limited on these options in the neighborhood. It has nothing to do with the mayor coming to a ribbon cutting of your business, and we don't understand. We don't understand our worth. But you gonna have an art
avenue of fashion, not the avenue of restaurant.
Yes.
And you only named 3 businesses throughout the whole avenue that has more than 100 businesses. From 6 miles to 8 miles.
And how many of them are Black-owned business venues? A lot of them are Black-owned businesses, but now the ownership of the buildings has changed tremendously. Also, this was in the blueprint. This was also in the blueprint of how they're going to take what you own and then allow you to have part of it back, and they're going to profit from it. See, this was all in the blueprint too. And when we talk about the art, so you have Joe's Gallery, owned by a Black woman. I know for a fact that art business has been in her family. It was her mom's business before she passed away. Then you got Brother Tony down there next to Bucharest. And then on the other side down there by Lolita and them and Prime Financial, what's his name? Is it Zale or something, across from New Prospect? You have another art gallery. I don't know if I'm missing anybody, but we talking about Black businesses. Right there. We're talking about Black businesses, and you're going to suffocate them. And this is what I'm saying. And they all be applauding. If you have can't even talk about your council person, because Lord have mercy. Don't have him come in negotiating for you, because Roy McAllister, this is how he negotiate for you. He tell you that he with you in the beginning, and he gonna support you getting whatever benefits you need, right? Like he did for the state fairgrounds, set up there for years, going to the meetings and saying, no, this is what we need. And then went back behind closed doors and popped up on the news with Duggan and saying, yeah, we support selling it to Ross Perot's company. So I don't think you want that type of person to negotiate for you, right? But what I think, then you have a district manager. And Ken Tandy, she's smart. Kim is smart. But what's the point of you going to her and singing her praises if she can't even get you art outside? If she can't get you an art fair outside, no other city tolerates this, is what I'm telling you.
It's an established event year after year after year. This is not new to this year. That has been going on forever. And I mean, I have pictures in the median with some of the most eclectic art.
Yes.
I mean, where there are artists that come from all over the world.
And a lot of them are Black artists and artists of color. See, that's another thing. People need to understand the message that's being sent. I talked about the message that's being sent by Duggan to strong or popular Black leadership that we've had, and how he is sending a clear and present message that he will destroy that image of Black men in leadership with our community. And he has done it. I'm just going to repeat this real quick with Coleman Young, because now he wants to serve just as many terms as Coleman Young, and now he has his son with them. The Archers, whether or not you like Dennis Archer or not, in his leadership, what I'm saying is that he was a Black man who won mayor, right? He was, right? Then you have what's this other one name? You got Kwame up here. telling you that, hey, he's doing a great job with the city, and then the mayor sitting on the front row, like the mayor trying to send a message, okay? You had Ken Cockrell Sr., who we all know was intelligent, strong Black man who was conscious, and what he did was made sure that his son was only going to have 2 days as the mayor, Brenda, and turned around and used that woman who stole him from Mrs. Cockrell, and now everything that she do is against anything that is quality for the Black community. Like, he's sending a message, right? And so now you're sending a message to our businesses, because we all know the pride that we had in the avenue of fashion and that our parents had in that. And I just listened to the stories about how you could go up there and you would get the best of the best, not just from B. Siegel, from the other stores that they had up there. It was Black owned business and business venues. See, they go together. So we automatically want to know if you're a Black owned business when we go, and we need to understand how many of them still own the property. So now that he's done the first phase, which is to make sure that we have less ownership of the buildings there, now he gonna double down and go to the other part, which means that, oh, we can't have jazz on the Ave. You know what else jazz on the Ave does? This is why he don't want jazz on the Ave. You know what popped up on the timeline yesterday? Remember when that man was following Duggan, and that was at Jazz on the Ave, remember, and cussed him out and drug him and Marshall Bullock? Yes, that was probably the last time we had a Jazz on the Ave. Now that I think about it,
there was one other one, Light Up Livernois. Nobody even mentioned it this year.
Nope. But the last time we had Jazz on the Ave is when that man didn't care anything about the security. It was that Jazz on, yep, and he dragged him and walked Duggan all down the street, cussed him out, told him how he wasn't scared of him. He talked about Marshall Bullock. Yep, all of them were right there. That was the last Jazz on, the real last Jazz on the Ave that we have had. And so Duggan took that away because he mad like a kid. And so then now, and you got a city council who supports it. Like, where's your city council person that's going to stand up and say, no, no, no. You can't even get your city council person to stand up.
One more fact. Dan from 1917 Bistro used to let Duggan
sure did
his restaurant all the time. Well, where's Dan in 1917 now?
Where is he? Where is he? And so now you're gonna suffocate the art galleries, the Black owned art galleries up there. Now they can't have art outside. I just really hope that you received, I don't know, the message was miscommunicated to you, because if the art fair is gonna be inside business, that's not an art fair. That's just that's an art store being open. You know, this is outrageous.
And then you got to look at Rufus Bartell, because he was the gatekeeper over there. There were people trying to fight back, and Rufus put the pressure on and galvanized people to say that this was the best thing for them and stuff. And nobody Black there has gotten unscathed. Even Rufus. But Rufus got a corner store.
And it's a nice space too.
So people can park along the sides and the back, where the other people have nowhere to park. And I don't know if anybody just take a drive down Livernois. You can't even get down Livernois. God forbid somebody wants to park. First you gotta find a parking spot. But God forbid somebody needs to parallel park. You all will stop for 15 minutes. No, there's no way. You have to turn all the way around and come all the way back. This is not a drivable street.
Wait a minute. He took out
or parkable street, which means that there will be no business to be had. Nobody
wants wait a minute.
To go over there.
Now let's really unpack this. Black folks, I'm gonna be honest with you, it was Black folks complaining about that median. I thought the median was ridiculous too, the way it was designed. You know, remember where the old credit union is? Now you have that epic building. There is literally a traffic light, a 4-way traffic light right there at that intersection. They put a median there, and the median closed off the intersection. my God, there's a traffic light there. I always thought that was stupid, and it didn't have enough places where you could turn around. So that's that.
You would have to turn into the parking lane.
Yeah, you would have to go into a left and make a Michigan left. I'm saying you can't go straight through, and there's literally a traffic light, a four-way stop traffic light right there. Why would you close that off instead of keeping that intersection open because there's a traffic light there? That made no sense. So Duggan say, we're finally, I remember this because I was at the meetings, that's my district. We're finally coming. We're going to redo that median on Livernois. We're going to take that out. We know you've been complaining, you know, about the traffic and the design. And you know what he did? He gave them sidewalks. So now you have less lanes to drive down. You have less parking. This is what he told you. And again, when people show you who they are, you should believe them. And look at that. And you had a black, I mean, silence is deadly. It's not only consent, it could be deadly. He's killing off those businesses.
In front of your store, you see, you have to have a permit to put a display out in front of your property. So how does that help you? Large sidewalks, how does that help you if you can't put your wares out there without a permit?
Well, thank you, Brenda. I appreciate you calling. I really didn't.
I got more. I just wanted to talk about that area so that we could see how it began with those parking meters. You remember?
Yes.
Those parking meters on Livernois.
That's right.
And then, remember, that was a Gary Brown issue.
And
now we've come forward to the things that sustain the black business on Livernois, Jazz on the Ave, Light Up Livernois, Art on the Ave, has now been wiped out. Has now been wiped out. This is totally.
So wait a minute. So wait a minute. So let's think about this. What you're telling me, I want to make sure I understand this, is that we have a mayor that is dismantling black ownership, right?
Absolutely.
Black economics, like as far as entrepreneurship, as far as being thriving businesses, black thriving businesses. So that includes like your profit margin and the bottom line. And then now he's gonna dismantle their business altogether is what he's doing from marketing and access. What do they walking traffic? That's what they call it. Right. Walking traffic. Right? You're gonna strip them of that too. Because see, it's all good for May, June, July, August, September, maybe October, depending. Them other months, you in trouble. Who can afford to have every year 4 to 5 months of downtime? Unless you're a construction worker and you plan for that. But to be a retail business, you cannot afford that. And that's what's happening.
That's exactly what's happening.
Now we gonna go, but I want to say this. It's gonna
grand opening on the Livernois. They're all white businesses that have taken black businesses away. The brewery, and the only other thing that was open,
but that brewery sits back.
But got 2 shops over there, the shoe shop and the tie shop.
But hold on, that brewery sits back, so they don't even they don't have the same obstacles as the other businesses that sit right there on the sidewalk, right? They don't. The breweries, you know, it sits back off of Livernois, so they're definitely at an advantage. But again, this has been in the blueprint, and then we have people up here. We're not having a real conversation about the real issue here. But this is my thing. We fought, we protested when they were out there and about to take over these businesses. But it was hard. But I'm gonna tell you who was fighting. You know those African stores down there near 7 Mile? Yeah. The lady came out and she was lit because she gets it. She understands what's coming down the pipeline. She gets it. But these other, just the black folks who've been here, It's like I don't know what it is. I think that they're afraid. And that's the problem, Brenda. But I got to take some other callers. And so thank you for calling in. All right. That's sad. That is really sad that you're going to tell me that you can't have the art fair. The art fair is going to be inside. Who allows this to happen? Who allows this to happen? Who allows this to happen? We do. But why? Why do we allow this to happen right here in our own community that we built? Also, I wanted to tell you, I just want to make this quick announcement about something that I read yesterday. And I want you to think about how this is a part of the blueprint too, right? About how when there's an agenda and a strategy to take over, to launch an attack on any community, they usually target the most vulnerable people in that community, our children and our women, our seniors too, but our children and our women usually. So, and our men, but there's a different attack launched against our men, against our brothers. It's different, but usually the attack on women and children are more aligned. So I saw this yesterday, Detroit Public Schools, DPSCD, faith-based council meeting. Before I tell you what it says, I just want you to hear that. Just digest it, because I think probably what you're thinking this is going to be, I'm going to surprise you. We invite you to join us for the faith-based council meeting. It's August the 12th at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. This is with the Detroit Public Schools, Church of Scientology, Detroit. You know all of these, listen, the ushers, the lady ushers and stuff, you know, the seasoned ushers, the senior citizen ushers, the elders in the church. Oh, man. I know they doing a cartwheel. They can't believe it. I know they pressure is up. The Church of Scientology, Detroit, 1 Griswold, Detroit, 48226. You need to RSVP by the 11th. I want to go. What they gonna say up in, do you know? Where the Council of Baptist pastors at? Where y'all at? Where the Culture Church? Where y'all at? Where y'all at? I say, wait a minute now. These folks then popped up in here and got that one little place, and now they going into the schools. I say, boy, you can't make this stuff up. But y'all gave Mike Duggan 50,000 votes. And y'all voted for all those folks on the school board. I want to know what they're going to say. I'm not even going to assume anything. I want to see for myself. Good morning. Welcome to the Nicole Small Show.
Good morning.
Oh,
I'm calling in tomorrow. I need you to send me that.
Okay. I'm going to send it to you right now.
And I'm going to forward it to every... Oh, girl, what?
Yep.
Are you serious?
It popped up. I said Church of Scientology.
Send me that. You're going to make me come out of retirement.
Well, this is TJ, everybody. So this is my question. I'm going to have to call Helen Moore, too, and find out if she knows. You have it. I just sent it to you. I just sent it to you. It's in your message. This is what I want to know. Now, and I don't know this part. So I'm sincere when I ask this question. Have we ever had a faith-based council meeting and it was with the Council of Baptist Pastors or with the culture?
I need to talk to Carletta Vaughn because that's her department.
I know, but I'm asking historically because I don't know is what I'm saying. I don't know if we've ever had that before. Have we ever brought?
Let me say this. They had engaged with the Black Council.
Yes, Adelia, the Tom Cruise religious sector.
Sat on the board, sat on the bond review board with me. So at the time, he was the council president.
Mm-hmm.
So they have engaged in DPS politically, you know, give or take their expertise or something else.
Well, I know they've been on the board and they've been presented. But hold up. What I'm asking is, have we ever had a full meeting around any religious group? Is what I'm asking you with DPS. Because this is what this says. I just sent it to you. It says Detroit Public Schools Community District. Hold on. Students, hold on. So they can hear it. Detroit Public Schools Community Districts. Students rise, we all rise. Right? That's how it starts out. We invite you to join us. So it is DPSCD who seems to be hosting this and inviting people. And the only thing I want to know is, has anything like this been done before within the public school system for the Baptist or for culture?
And as soon as
Carletta is not a part of the Scientology. I didn't think so.
I know that. That's what I'm saying. But that faith-based component falls under her as a board member.
And they run a social media ad.
To figure out how did a meeting, because usually the parent involvement or the community engagement person sets up these meetings. Now, why is it being held there when DPS has over 100 buildings vacant and open to have a meeting at?
Well, you could go to Edgar Van's church. You could go over there to Triumph.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not understanding this.
You can't make this up in this city. I'm telling y'all, you can't make it up.
Church doing that.
You can't make. That's right. Because you know we got some Catholic churches that'll get out there in the streets with us.
They're renting a space.
Ooh, we got some Catholic folks over there. They'll get down and dirty with us. They be out there fighting against water, poor water standards.
I'm not understanding this one at all. I need to hear the logic behind this, because all money ain't good money.
I'm going on Zoom.
And I need to understand that they ain't going in the charter schools requesting them to come there. So why they requesting for DPS to meet them? That makes no sense to me. So y'all, they're going a little bit too far. They going too far. Now y'all messing with the kids. I got an issue with that. Lord, they're gonna make me come out of retirement because this is ridiculous. Yeah, I'm about to hang up with you, and I'm about to.
Well, this is what's funny.
Because if you got this email, then she got it too.
No, it's not an email. It's social media ads, ma'am. Be clear.
Let me make sure I share it.
And
I'll talk to you later.
Yes.
Have a good day.
Yes. And y'all want to know something that's crazy? If you go on their Facebook website, it's not on here. Nope. They got a thing for teens being vaccinated. They talk about welcoming the schools back, pop-up enrollment centers. I don't see this event on there. I know y'all, I'm going to show you so y'all know that I'm telling you the truth. Let me show you the flyer. Now, how I just lose that doggone thing that fast? See, this would be wrong. Oh, here it is. Can y'all see this? I don't know if it, okay, you can see it there, right? You see the Church of Scientology? So you know, I don't know if they trying to remove it, but I just showed it to you. Here it is. And you got to call with the name of your church or organization. The organization is the organization of the people. This is crazy. Boy, you know what? This doggone city, y'all better be careful. It'll go to hell in a handbasket. We got to stop it. We have to stop it. And this is why we have to become focused and more centered around our strategy to stop some of this stuff and to respond. I'm telling you, they're preying on our seniors, giving them false information, right? Stripping them of their resources. All of this money coming in here, how has it really benefited seniors? They're taking away so many opportunities economic opportunities and resources that are coming into the city. They're taking it away from the most vulnerable communities that are in the most need. Look at how they're attacking our businesses. I'm telling you, like, this is not just my opinion. The only thing that I'm delivering to you is a fact. Like, this is what's happening. And people get mad because I tell the truth. I'm just asking you, how much more are you gonna tolerate? Why does your tolerance level exceed your standards? Is what I need to understand. Now y'all gonna let them come in. I just want to know. I'm not even gonna speak on it first. I'm gonna do my research and I'm gonna find out, because maybe Detroit Public Schools has had events with other religious groups. The fact that you going to the Church of Scientology, and I don't want to hear that about you not working with them. You going up into the Church of Scientology, you know it's going to bring awareness to our babies and their parents about what this religion does. Now, everybody can choose to be whatever religion they want to, or if you're going to be an atheist, I don't know what y'all going to do. I'm just saying it's the city of Detroit. And this is exactly why. So why the Council of Baptist Pastors, why you want to endorse Duggan and all of his picks, this what you get. This exactly what you get. Because if you think that it's not a war being waged on a faith-based community, then they start off with giving you them drainage fees. You better ask somebody, and Duggan not done with you yet either. Good morning. Welcome to the Nicole Small Show.
First of all, Scientology was formed as a tax scam by L. Ron Hubbard. But my main concern is that the Constitution says that the church and state should be separated, and DPSCD is a public entity. And they should not be holding faith-based events and using it on their letterhead. That is not a council meeting. I don't know what it is. It's an indoctrination, and they won't let me bring my church in there talking mess.
See?
And I'm a Christian, and I still say that it should be the separation of church and state. It's one thing to rent a building so people can have a meeting at the building for income, but it's something else entirely different when people are trying to indoctrinate children in what's a cult, because the people that have gotten out of it have been jumping up and down for 20 years.
Wow.
That's all I want to say about it. I'm serious. It's ridiculous. You got actors and actresses that have been blackballed in Hollywood.
They sure have.
Escaped from the so-called Church of Scientology.
And
all the literature I've read, I have not seen one thing talk about anybody, who they work by, any kind of worship.
Well, you know what? And the treatment of the men and women in those churches in that documentary, why would you want to expose our children to that lifestyle? Why would you want to do that? Why would you want to expose our children to that lifestyle? And again, adults, they can choose whatever path that they want as far as faith and religion. But that speaks by what next what you gonna do? You gonna be holding a doggone you gonna be holding a meeting in there where they do sex trafficking? Is that gonna be next? Is that gonna be next?
All I know is that people, we got to move it's time to stop this nonsense.
Yes, it is.
It's one thing. It's bad enough that they're destroying the Black community because they're scared of another 8th Street. We all know that's all that's about. They're scared of another. They're scared we're gonna get it together and get some sense and wake up before it's too late. Yeah, these business owners are scared, but they're not scared enough. They're not scared enough. I just see things that I say. Maybe I'm Debbie. What they call it, Debbie Downer.
No, that's 100% real.
I see them sitting around as a people, waiting for them to get the freight cars to cart us off somewhere.
Yeah.
Until we don't wake up.
Wow.
Everybody wants to sit around. I sit in on these Zoom meetings and I listen to these people, and these people are falling for a reasonable sounding voice. Yeah.
You're right.
If I sound calm and reasonable, I can sell you the Belle Isle Bridge that already belongs to the state.
That's true. You know they can sell manure to a cow. They so good nowadays. I'm just telling you. And you know this is sad and this is scary. Like they're saying that this is a faith-based council, and they holding in that the Church of Scientology, where you have women who have talked about how them and their children have been abused. Why are we gonna take our kids up in there?
We're gonna treat our children like adults. How are you gonna treat a 4-year-old like an adult? I know it's just a whole bunch of it's nonsense. It's nonsense, and most of the people in there got some kind of mental health issue anyway.
Yeah, well,
you can't tell me Tom Cruise ain't bipolar.
Yeah, I think it's a lot going on with Tom Cruise.
There's a lot going on, but my point is, you shouldn't be having so-called faith-based anything in somebody's church. I don't see no Muslims in there. I didn't see nobody inviting Methodists and Baptists and Church of God in Christ and Pentecostals up in there. I don't see them. I don't see no Buddhists. I don't see no Hindus and Sikhs. And if you don't have any of that, then it's not faith-based.
You know what it would be like? You want me to tell you what this would be like? This would be like going out there to Cranbrook Cranbrook, or going to Grove and Birmingham, and for that school, for Birmingham school system to partner with the Nation of Islam and have Farrakhan come up in there. Let's see how that'll work out. No, but what I'm saying to you, no, I'm talking about the level of resistance that you would see. Because you know in they mind, oh, that would just be a problem. But I haven't seen anybody up in arms about this. I don't understand it. I really and truly don't. I'm going because I want to understand how did they come to this decision? What is the purpose? I really want to know. I really want to know, like, what people were at the table and how did they come up with this being a good idea? Let me say this to you. I want you to think about something. The fact that we are still in a pandemic, but we are coming out of one of the most horrific, traumatic years that a lot of us have ever experienced, right? I know some of our elders have seen some things just as bad, but that we have ever experienced outside of slavery and stuff. I'm just saying in our lifetime, right? I'm not saying overall to the Black or brown community. And what you do is when you're talking about actually sending our children back into the schools, you're going to have a faith-based council with the Church of Scientology.
Oh, no.
So
I'm so glad my kids is not in near 40. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, it's sad. It's so sad. Thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. This is scary. But this all in the plan too, right? This all in the blueprint. This is all in the blueprint. Faith-based. The thing that get me is that if they said they were holding a DPS meeting just using their building, I still would question it. But the fact that this says that this is a faith-based council, which means that the church of, it leads you to believe now, you know, reading and comprehension goes together, right? So I'm just saying the way that it is written, one would probably draw the conclusion that there is some type of partnership with the Church of Scientology. So you gonna tell me nobody on that whole school board saw that documentary? And don't get me wrong, now y'all know y'all had some mess going on in some of these other churches, right? You know, Bishop Eddie Long and all of that other type of stuff. So now I am not gonna say, you know, the other religions are perfect, but that's more so like these independent leaders. This as a whole, I just want to know how you gonna take them kids up in there, because you know kids go to meetings too with their parents. Man, this is sad. This is sad. So who gonna protect our kids? Who gonna protect our babies? This a lot of nerve. I'm gonna call Mother Helen Moore, and I'm gonna find out, because maybe I'm missing something. Maybe my interpretation of the facts is wrong. I could be wrong. I showed you what it said. I've just never seen anything like it. And I just want to know when we gonna get sick and tired of being sick and tired. The choice is yours. So before I go, don't forget this Thursday at 5 o'clock, we will be meeting at 12 in Claremont, at the park where the riot started. At 12 in Claremont. We're gonna hope that we can resurrect some of our energy that we had at a point in time where we stood for better. I'm not telling you to burn the city down, so because they'll take that and be like, she said burn the city down. Last person who told y'all to burn the city down ended up supporting Doug and now, Brother Malik Shabazz. So I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just saying, though, we need to be focused and we need to care about each other. We need to care about our community. That's the only way that we're going to win. So again, Thursday at 5 o'clock, we'll be meeting in the park. They do have some benches there. But if you have a chair in a bag, bring it. So that'll be Thursday at 5 o'clock at 12 in Claremont. I will see you there. Man, that is sad. DPSCD, Faith-Based Community Council, is partnered with the Church of Scientology. You know what? I see why these kids out here acting crazy. Some of them. Because there should be some folks up in arms. Some of them, not all of them, because we have Black excellence within our children all over. But you know what? They only gonna be as good as the path that we set for them, that we pay for them. And I'm just not. I don't understand this. You don't think our children have experienced enough trauma? And now you're gonna take them into this venue? Y'all have a good day. Be safe. Sunday, we're having a campaign kickoff for the general election at our office, 19600 West McNichols, 19600 West McNichols, from 1 to 4 o'clock. We definitely will be talking about, our platform, my platform for the general election, the direction we want to move in. There'll be some opportunities to sign up for volunteering, right there in your own community to make it easier. If you don't live in the city, you welcome to. If you're going to come and help out, we have to do better by our community. And the only way that this is going to work, they done shown us who they are over and over again. They repeated it for the primary election. So either we're going to increase this voter turnout and we're going to let them know that we deserve better, and some of us going to survive, but a lot more will perish if we don't get this right for this next 4 years, at least, to start turning this thing back around to benefit our community. So there it is. I'll post any updates that I find out about this DPSCD. I'm going to call Helen Moore because I want to know what the heck is going on. I appreciate you. Have a great day. Be safe. Have a good week. And I'll see you back in here Monday, God willing. Have a good one.